This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello, thanks for staying tuned. Here's the major news on 92.3 Nigeria Info. On the news this evening, federal government releases 2.5 billion naira for repair of LMA axis of East-West Road. And youth group rejects 2.5 billion naira compensation for property owners along LMA Road. Kaduna State government files fresh charges against Ibrahim Elusakin. And on the foreign scene, Japan widens emergency over frightening COVID spike. In business, Apeman threatens strike over police interference. I'm Adedayo, Elusakin. The federal government is appealing to protesting youth to be patient over the repair of the bad portion of the LMA on-air axis of the East-West Road. Senator Godswill Akpabio, speaking at a meeting with the management of RCC, directed that repair work begins today. He also announced the release of 2.5 billion naira for the rehabilitation work.
I think we're happy with the level of work. It's not a job that you must rush, but they are taking their time to make sure they give to the citizens of the state the best and Nigeria in general. Very happy that the money we spent is not a misplaced priority. Each time people travel overseas for cancer treatment.
Apologies for the mix-up, and Senator Akpabio also spoke on the release of another 2.5 billion naira for compensation to property owners along the road.
We had earlier given about 4.9 billion for compensation, which represented the normal 15%, but they couldn't do much because after 14 to 15 years, a lot of structures have come up and there is need for compensation. So we've decided to touch the contingency fund enshrined in the contract to take care of the compensation. And we have directed that the consultants should start the compensation from tomorrow.
Tuesday night.
However, the Ghana Youth Federation says the release of 2.5 billion naira for payment of compensation is diversionary and an attempt by Senator Godswill Akpabio to deceive and trick protesting youths into withdrawing from the road. And President General of the group, Legbosi Yamabana, in an interview said the youths are not satisfied and will not leave the road. Also, National Youth Council of Nigeria says they will mobilize youth groups on Sunday if contractors are not mobilized to fix the road. The council in a statement condemned the slow response of the federal government and release of the funds in batches, describing it as diversionary. And they called on the federal government to release the complete funds for the road. As you may know, youth from Eleme and Ogoni communities have continued to block the Eleme section of the East-West Road. The protest started on Monday. Meanwhile, residents are still counting their losses 2 days after hoodlums attacked Umudioga community in Emohua local government area after an OSPAC leader was killed. A woman who went to the community to check on her aged parents told Nigeria Info FM that her father was killed, her mother is still missing, and their family house was destroyed. She said there is no security operative in the community.
My father's house was burnt. That was Tuesday night. We were waiting to get a call. Let everywhere be calm. Yesterday we went there. I went there with my sister and discovered that they had, like, they blew up the house to Dynamo Son because the roof was blown open. The man was shot and burnt inside. The remaining carcass we went to go and carry yesterday. When we went there with the police van, my mom is nowhere to be found. According to the information, they carried away my mom after shooting her husband and burnt him inside the house. Up till now, no information. Whether she's alive or not, we don't even know.
Recall that the River State Police Command and the Emohua local government chairman, Chidi Lloyd, said security operatives are in the community and calm has been restored. And to Kaduna State, where the state government has filed fresh charges against the leader of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim Elusakin. This comes less than 48 hours after the embattled IMN leader was discharged and acquitted by Kaduna State High Court. Not satisfied with the ruling, the state government on Thursday filed fresh 7 charges against the IMN leader at the Federal High Court, bordering on terrorism and treasonable felony against the state and federal government. Earlier, a lawyer, Lawrence Nda, advised the Kaduna State government not to appeal the State High Court judgment as the release of Elusakin may address the rising insecurity in Kaduna State.
We thank God that the High Court in Kaduna State has discharged him. What that means is that he has been freed of all the charges against him. Today he is a free man. The implication of this is that the insecurity in Kaduna State vis-a-vis other states in the north will be peaceful now, because a man who some people in the north believe in is as far as Islamic religion is concerned. Those who disagree with the views of federal government will now have a way to pacify their mind, having been discharged completely of all that he was alleged of. So it's a good thing for Nigeria, it's a good thing for the people of the north, because insecurity will reduce.
As you may know, Elusakin and his wife were released after standing trial for 4 years. A state high court in Kaduna State ordered the release on Wednesday. And Super TV boss Michael Osifo Otaga has been buried in a private ceremony on Friday in Ikoyi, Lagos. His family and friends paid tribute to him at a service of songs held in his honor on Thursday evening. At his funeral service, the officiating priest Julius Olaito, in his message, described Mr. Osifo as an achiever. The priest called the police to find those responsible for his brutal murder. And still ahead, returnees from Libya share harrowing experiences as road marks Day Against Human Trafficking. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the major news of 90.3 Nigeria Info. And Governor Yesemweke has restated his determination to complete on schedule and open for public use in 2022 the Cancer Cardiovascular Diagnostic and Treatment Center in Port Harcourt. Governor Wike made the pledge while inspecting the progress of work at the center, which has been named after the former governor of Rivers State, Peter Odili. He defended the 25.9 billion naira project, saying his administration is keen in on providing the best infrastructure for Rivers people.
I think we're happy with the level of work. It's not a job that you must rush, but they are taking their time to make sure they give to the citizens of the state the best, and Nigeria in general. Very happy that the money we spent is not a misplaced priority. Each time people travel overseas for cancer treatment, so I think it will be something that every Nigerian will be happy, and here will be like a tourist center.
Moving on, the national president of the Epidemiology Society of Nigeria, Lawrence Ogbonnaya, has emphasized the need for intelligent epidemic data gathering tools to monitor and combat epidemics. Professor Ogbonnaya was speaking during the opening ceremony of the 9th Scientific Conference and General Meeting of the Epidemiology Society of Nigeria in Port Harcourt. He said the application of such tools will help agencies responsible for monitoring epidemics understand variants and mutations of viruses.
The application of epidemic intelligence tools is therefore a sine qua non to following the various viral mutations, transmission dynamics, and clinical manifestations of the COVID-19 disease. Today we are talking about the SARS-CoV-2 Delta variant, which is more deadly and more highly transmissible. According to the WHO, this variant may spread to many more countries soon. All of these need highly reliable epidemic intelligence tools to detect and manage.
Also speaking, a representative of the World Health Organization, Geoffrey Damara, said the COVID-19 pandemic has strengthened immunization and public health surveillance despite its impact on global health security. Mr. Damara represented the WHO country representative, Walter Malumbo.
The COVID-19 vaccination has provided the opportunity to strengthen immunization in the country, and second, early detection of these health threats, where we've seen that the public health surveillance system has been strengthened across the country. We've also seen that the laboratory networks for COVID-19 testing and other diseases has increased significantly. Therefore, it is all upon us to sustain this tempo as we try to manage this pandemic.
On a spot, Provost of College of Health Sciences Franklin Lerum, who represented River State Deputy Governor Ipalebo Banigo-Hari, called for partnership and trainings.
She has advocated for a collaboration of the association with the training institutions like River State College of Health Sciences and other training institutions that are responsible in training of young epidemiologists to assist in the identification of diseases in the society and then providing solutions on how these diseases could be managed.
Our correspondent reports that the theme for this year's scientific conference of the Epidemiology Society of Nigeria is Public Health Emergencies. Meanwhile, COVID spike continues as Nigeria records 558 new cases and 2 deaths. As the world marks the day against trafficking in person, some returnees from Libya who were tricked into traveling to Europe through the Sahara Desert to get to Italy have narrated their ordeals. One of them, a young woman, Rita Paul, told our correspondent that she comes from a poor background and her father stopped her from learning hairdressing to fend for herself. She said when her father fell ill, someone promised to take her abroad to provide nanny services for a relative. She said the journey stopped at Libya, where she was passed around as a prostitute. She said she was later kidnapped but escaped before she was deported to Nigeria.
Now that I find myself for desert, no water to drink. They beg you, might be like us to peace, may we drink. So many people die for my presence, with their throat don't dry. When we reach Libya, I say suffer doing and suffer to continue. From one connection house to another connection house, from camp to camp. But from there, I can't escape from that place. I can't run. Go attack people with the kidnap person hand. They call kidnap me. They call my people. Me they call pay me. My mother call borrow money from different places. They pay me from the prison. Come out for prison. I call go camp. The same suffer. To it's no problem.
Municipal advise parents to ensure that their children do not stay idle but take up vocational skills in order to provide for themselves.
Even my enemy, I not pray for my enemy to enter that journey. Nothing like say you want to for that side or you want feast or you want work. No, now prostitution that they carry everybody they go do. Now my advice for the young youth be that, and for parents too. If your child say see what I won't learn, no, allow and do am. Because if you not allow and do am, you see the kid the picking. Yeah, as me say my daddy allow me learn that address at that time. At least I first get my own and work at then. And make youth, make they stay their country, make they stay Nigeria. Nigeria is the best.
Also, a mother of 3, simply known as Sharon, said she went through the harrowing experience of crossing the Sahara Desert to Europe because her husband kept abusing her physically. And she said most people who went with her on the journey died while some were kidnapped.
There's one small room there. There are people in there. They kidnap them. They will unite inside that room. People in that room eat in that place. The night they will come. They will carry pipe, carry electric iron, plug it inside the water, shook their head inside the water. They'll put phone in their ears that you call their person that is in Nigeria. When those guys are not shouting, their parents in Nigeria will be hearing their shout. They please so send the money like 500,000, 100,000 to the extent that we fold our money tiny, shook inside our private parts, so that we weave the money inside our hair.
Ms. Sharon called on Nigerian leaders to make the economy friendly and provide employment for young people.
With the way things are costly day and night now, it's making some people not able to take care of their family. There's no food. Hunger is too much. They should employ youth so that they will have hands work. So when they are happy in their country, they don't know how they meant to go to that person's country to go and do nonsense. Because those places we are going to is somebody that made that country to be the best. Let our own government also do the best thing.
The theme for this year's World Day Against Human Trafficking is Victims' Voices Leads the Way. And the APC in River State said it has uncovered a plan by Senator Magnus Abe and his supporters to stop the APC in the state from going ahead with the World Congress is tomorrow. APC spokesperson in the state, Aguna Nwuke, spoke to newsmen.
We have learned that at about 4 p.m. today, Friday, 30th July 2021, Senator Abe's lawyers were filing papers to stop the APC from going along with its planned congresses as approved by the National Secretariat. We have further learned that the Chief Judge of the River State, who was still within the court premises, may any moment from now assign the matter to a judge who will be expected to issue a restraining order. We are not surprised by the existence of the plot which was put to the test before the 20 2019 elections by Senator Magnus Abe and his external collaborators.
Well, still to come on today's business, entertainment, sports and international scene. Please stay tuned.
Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. We, the 19th Ward Chairman of PDP in Echille Local Government Area, heartily congratulate you, the Executive Chairman of Echille Local Government Area, Honorable Dr. Obinna E. Ayan, on your electoral victory at the just concluded Local Government Area election. We are grateful to God for making it possible for you to return for a second term. We also want to thank you for the construction of a Kuku Better Life Market at Olakwa Echille. We assure you of our commitment and total support throughout your tenure. We pray to Almighty God to give you the wisdom and enablement to pilot the affairs of Echille local government to an enviable height. Chairman, Chikao. Signed, Honorable Akanwa Kevin Chinaka, Coordinator, PDP Ward Chairman of Echille local government area.
And now the business news.
Welcome back. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has resolved to withdraw its services at units or depots following a series of unwarranted attacks by police against IPMAN. The depots are in the eastern zone, comprising Aba, Calabar, Enugu, Makadi, and Port Harcourt. In a statement, IPMAN President Sanusi Fari said the decision was taken after a National Executive Council meeting of the association, adding that the withdrawal is until further notice.
Take it away with the entertainment news.
Nollywood actor Williams Uchemba has revealed how his wife, Brunella Oscar, put her medical profession on hold to help build his goals. On his Instagram page on Thursday, while appreciating her and other good wives, he thanked her and all the wives out there that make life peaceful and easy for their husbands.
And now, updates on the sports news.
Disqualified Team Nigeria athletes are protesting in Tokyo. The athletes say they are suffering from the negligence of the Nigerian sports authorities, and rather than take full responsibility for their failings, the sports ministry labeled those affected as alternate and foreign student athletes whose tests did not meet with sample collection and analysis standards.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Japan is extending a state of emergency in Tokyo and expanding it to new regions as the Olympic Games host faces a surge in COVID-19 cases. The restrictions have been imposed in areas surrounding the capital as well as in the city of Osaka. Japan's Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga warned infections caused by the Delta variant were spreading at an unprecedented rate, urging the country to watch the games from home. And that's it on the news this evening. You heard the federal government is asking protesting youth to be patient as repair work on the Eleme axis of the east-west road begins. But youth groups rejects 2.5 billion naira compensation for property owners along Eleme Road. 8-man threatened strike over police interference. Kaduna State government files fresh charges against Ibrahim El-Zakzaki. And the foreign saying Japan widens emergency over frightening COVID spike. And that was the news edited by Martha Okere. Contact our newsroom on 0818 90017. Cloudy weather expected in Port Harcourt this evening. Thanks for listening. I'm Adedayo, Elusakin. Good evening.